Hello Year 6, this is your vocabulary lesson for the 27th of January. Okay, so what is this symbol? Pause the video here and see if you can work it out. If you're not sure, I'll tell you by the end of the video. So we are going to look at prefixes amongst all the other words we are going to look at. So un, im and in. Have a think. Again, pause the video and have a think. Can you think, how many words can you think that would go for each of those prefixes? They can be completely random words, not necessarily on our theme. Pause the video here. Our focus words and synonyms this week: impossible, unimaginable, inconceivable, unfeasible, unique, distinct, exclusive, remarkable, peculiar, misery, dejected, heartbreak, anguish, wretchedness, infinite, infinity, immeasurable, immense, unlimited. Pause the video. And first of all, I want you to think about how many of these words do you know, could you use in your writing? And then I would like you to think about the powerfulness of each word. If you had to draw the words on a line, like we've done in class, which word would go at which end? Would you use these words in the same context? And I'll come back to that a little bit later. So our definitions, if you're not sure of any of these words: impossible, something that cannot happen or be done. Unique, the only one of its kind. And unique is one of those words that lots and lots of people use in the wrong way. So just bear that in mind. Misery, a great unhappiness. Infinite, without limit, edge or ending. And that is a clue to the symbol you saw at the beginning. Unimaginable, so far from the normal experiences that it is difficult to believe. Inconceivable, unlikely to be true or to happen. Unfeasible, something that cannot be made or done. Distinct, not like anything else, different. Exclusive, only found in certain places, separate and different to others. Remarkable, unusual and worthy of attention. Peculiar, strange, odd, unusual, special. Dejected, deeply unhappy and disappointed. Heartbreak, a great sadness and suffering. Anguish, extreme pain and misery. Wretchedness, the feeling of distress and deep unhappiness. Infinity, the state of being endless in space, in size. Immeasurable, something that cannot be measured, vast. Immense, unusually large, without limits. Unlimited, an unrestricted amount, without boundaries. Have a look at the following words and just think, how do prefixes change the meaning? What I would like you to do in your exercise book is jot down the word without the prefix, just so you get that link between the prefix and how it changes the meaning. So if you think about unimaginable, think about imaginable and think about what un has done to it. What about unfeasible? If something is feasible, you can do it. It's feasible that I ought to be able to record this PowerPoint and change it into a video without stopping. Not sure about that one. But unfeasible is something that cannot be made or done. Immeasurable, something that can't be measured. But if you measure something, so think about the power of a prefix. What does that do to the language that we are looking at? Infinite, without limit, edge or ending. Think about the symbol at the beginning of this session. This is quite a heavy duty session. There's a lot to think about in this. Right, this is your chance to start playing around with the language. You know how much I love you to play around with words. It will make your vocabulary and your writing so much more powerful. So, if you use one of the synonyms instead of misery, how does the sentence change? I went home absolutely heartbroken, barely touched my dinner and lay in bed unable to sleep for the what of it all. Which word in the correct context would you put in the gap? Have a go. Look at the next one. We've got unique, distinct, exclusive, remarkable or peculiar. What drew me in was the something way of looking at the world. See what word you feel would suit best. Here's another one. Impossible, unimaginable, inconceivable, ludicrous, that's a good word, unfeasible. That's really what I mean by something, pictures. Infinite, immeasurable, immense, unlimited. Suddenly I had this sense of the universe being what, I wonder? What do you think would fit there? Is this an impossible picture? It's such a good picture. I wonder if you can find out who created this picture. It's very famous. See if you can find out. And when I've worked out how to do it, I will put something on Google Classroom for you to complete the answers for this. This is an extract from a book called Beyond Infinity by Josh Lury, and I will put more of the extract on Google Classroom during the week. I want to put it on because you will see some of the language that we've discussed in this piece. What's it like to be a professional mathematician? When people ask me what my job is, I'm never quite sure what to say. If I say I'm a mathematician, they tend to think I just sit on my own at a desk all day and do page after page of sums. In fact, I very rarely work on my own and almost never at a desk. And as for sums, well, I was never actually that fond of doing calculations and certainly wasn't top of the class when I was at school. I liked puzzles and patterns, and I always liked to draw diagrams to solve difficult problems. I guess that's still pretty much what I do. I look for patterns and draw impossible pictures. I will post some more of this book later in the week. It's a really interesting read, particularly when he talks about infinity.